Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, dear devotees. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very happy to have the association of His Grace Arjuna Sakha Prabhuji. We'll be sharing Bhagavad Gita from 4th Canto, 29th chapter, verses 14 and 15. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Dandavat to everyone. Pancha kalpatarvesha kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
We can start, Prabhuji.
Hey Prabhu. Am I audible properly, Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jayat Mudurayet Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulangayate Girim Jatkrupatamaham Bande Sri Guru Dinatarine Sunyatam Sukatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Hrudayantastu abhadrani bibhunoti sahutsrutam Nashtaprayeshu abhadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati ruttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We are offering our obeisance to His Grace Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Srila Prabhupada. And let's start. Beg your blessings. Hare Krishna. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29 and verse 14 and 15. This is a discussion between Narada and King Prachinbahi. And we have already discussed some of these verses, beautiful verses come from Narad Muni. And we'll be continuing with that. And prior to this chapter was chapter related with the story of Puranjan. And the questions start with, I could not understand the depth of the story. And please explain me, thinking that I'm a layman, I don't understand much the deep philosophy. So in order to simplify the discussion, Narad Muni is explaining the story of Puranjan to Prachinbahi. This is the context. And we'll continue with the discussion, whatever that been discussed between these two. And we'll start with this slok 14. Asuri modram arbakdva vyavaya graminam rati upastha durmadha proktaha niruti guda uchyate. Asurim rudram abhraktva Devaya graminam rati Upastha durmadaha proktaha Nirutti guda uchyate Asuri mudram arbakdva Devaya graminam rati Upastha durmadaha prokta Niruti guda uchyate. Vaisasam narakam payu Lubdhaka andhotu me shrunu Hastapado pumantasbhyam Juktayati karoti cha Vaisasam narakam payu Lubdhaka andhotu me shrunu Hastapado pumantavyam Juktayati karoti cha Vaisasam narakam payu Lubdhakaha andhotu me shrunu Hastapado pumantavyam Juktayati karoti cha. Hare Krishna. Any Mataji's Prabhuji would like to recite, please? Hare Krishna.
Asuri Medram Arvak Dvahavyavaya Graminam Rati Upastaha Durmata Prokta Nirutti Buddha Uchate. Verse 15. Vaishasam Narakam Payuhu Lubdakaha Andau tu me thrunu Hastapadau Pumantabhyam Yuktayati Karoti cha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yeah, Prabhuji. Prabhu, can I see the full screen or maybe a little minimize?
Oh, you want me to zoom out, Prabhuji? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, a little bit, 3-4% up, Prabhu.
Is this good?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Now come down. Or can I share, Prabhu, otherwise?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'll share this, Prabhu. So that it will be easier for me to scroll down and up accordingly. Is it visible to Prabhu? Is it visible, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's talking about verse 14 and 15, translation. The city called Gramaka, which is approached through the lower gate of Asuri, the genital organ, is meant for sex, which is very pleasing to common men who are simply fools and rascals. The faculty of procreation is called Drumadaha, and the rectum is called Niritti, purport by Srila Prabhupada. When the world becomes degraded, citizens become demonic, and for the common man, the rectum and the genitals are taken very seriously as the center of all activities. Even in such a sacred place as Vrindavan, India, all intelligent men pass up this rectal and genital business as spiritual activity. Such people are called Sahajiya. According to their philosophy, through sexual indulgence, one can elevate oneself to the spiritual platform. From these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, however, we understand that the desires for sexual satisfaction are meant for arvak, the lowest among man. To rectify these rascals, the fools are very difficult. To rectify these rascals and fools is very difficult. After all, the sex desires for the common man are condemned in these verses. The word Drumada means wrongly directed and Niritri means sinful activities. Although this clearly indicates that that sex indulgence is abominable and misdirected even from the ordinary point of view, the Sahajiyas nonetheless pass themselves off as a devotee conducting spiritual activities. For this reason, Vrindavan is no longer visited by intelligent man. We are often asked why we have made our center in Vrindavan. From the external point of view, it can be concluded that Vrindavan has become generated due to these Sahaji activities. Yet, from the spiritual point of view, Vrindavan is only place where all the sinful persons can be rectified by means of taking birth in the form of dogs, hogs, and monkeys. By living in Vrindavan as a dog, hog, or monkey, the living entity can be elevated to the spiritual platform in the next life. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now let's translation of 4.29.15. When it is said that Puranjan goes to Vaishasa, it is meant that he goes to hell. It is accompanied by Labdhaka, which is the working sense in the rectum. Formerly, I have also spoken of two blind associates. These associates should be understood to be the hands and legs. Being helped by the hands and the legs, the living entity performs all kind of work and moves hither and thither. There is no purport here by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakhyurunmilitam Jenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Shupadantikam Vande Aham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavan Samsa Sri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Idam Tam Shajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitansha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhesya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Yati Namine Namaste Saraswata Devi Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyabadi Pasatya Deshatarini. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this particular verse, in this particular chapter, Narad Muni is describing about the 9 gates of the life, of the body. 9 gates of the body, and particularly he has already described about the 7 gates that is situated in this face or maybe the front of the body. There is 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, and 2 ears. That is in the front gate, that is in the Purva, that is in the eastern part, as well as the western and northern, north, west, and the front, that is in the Purva, that is in the eastern part. Now he is describing about the gates in the southern part. In Bhagavad Gita 5.11, Lord Krishna describe about the 9 gates, Navadwara Pure. He considered this body, this human body particularly, as a Pura, is the city of 9 gates. That is also described in Upanishad, that is 3.11, that is Mundaka. Just a minute. Yeah, that is described in the Upanishad as the gates, 9 gates. The body comprises of 9 gates. That is, you can read, if you read this 5.11, you'll get to know. Yeah, 5.13. Sarva karmani manusha sanyasaste sukham basi. Navadwara pure dehe naiva kurvanta karayan. Naiva kurban karayan. Again, it is described in Upanishad also. That is...
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. If you can unshare your screen, we can see your video in full.
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So here also described this body as the 9 gates, comprises of 9 gates, and here it is described very by Lord Krishna himself about the gates, and we all know what are the gates, 9 gates talk about, and what Narad Muni is also describing for last 4-5 verses altogether. So here, what happened? Suppose think about, suppose you got a very important activities or a meeting or maybe something to present in this temple at 6 o'clock, or trying to come to this Mangala Arti, and think about the situation. You're sleeping late, maybe around 10:30 or 11, and you have to get off at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Your conscious brain will give an alarms around, we'll get up, oh, it is already 6 o'clock. How come I be late? How come I sleep? But we'll gradually get up and see that you are watching when you look at the clock, you'll see it is 2:30. Again, you go to sleep and you'll get up and you'll see it is 2:45 or 3 o'clock. Because this is keep on giving this alarm, the subconscious brain keeps on giving alarms. Similarly, when you read to the Srimad Bhagavatam, this Bhagavatam will keep on popping up some alarms to our life. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all the Shastra keep on giving, the pop-up comes in the form of alarms. Get up, be aware, arise, think again. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu janma dhruva mrityu dhruva janmasya. Alarms. And the body also keep on giving this, nature also keep on giving us alarms. The time to exit, time, and stay prepared. You have this, you have that. Now your hairs are graying. Your teeth are falling now. You have limited listening power. And the Shastra keep on giving some alarms. And what are the alarms here? So control your system. Be aware about the systems and manage them accordingly. Unless you manage it, you'll be falling down. So be aware about that. But here Narad Muni is giving about the description of the Pura, that is Navadwara, 9 gates of the body. And while describing of the 9 gates, and particularly 2, that the southern gates, the genitals and rectal, he also given the association of the hell. This is the gateway for hell. Prabhupada here mentioned that when the demonic characteristic in this material earth or material world goes up, the indulgence of these 2 gates goes up, and that is the dangerous situation. And this is how, when you are excessively in control of the tamasic, that is the mode of ignorance, this is the source of enjoyment for the people. And if you listen Prabhupada's series of lectures, very, very many times Prabhupada given a warning for this particular things. And it described the whole world is running just because of one thing, that is for the sex indulgence. In 2010, I met one Prabhuji. He's a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And he was narrating his story. The flight got delayed for 2 hours, and we were sitting together. I was fortunate and I don't like to take his name because this is a personal matter. And he was a brahmachari, and he could not control the urge of sex. And he has already spent 1.5 years, and that too after retirement. He was about to retire. He has already 3 sons, already grown up children. And he went to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada says, no worries. No worries. I'll arrange your marriage. But on that day, there is another Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada was showing him a pamphlet. And that pamphlet looks like this is the advertisement for a trip. There is a holiday trip that is in this, what is Jamaica? That is the West Indies, the West Indies trip. And in this pamphlet, Prabhupada shown that the photograph of a young girl to this Prabhuji and says, you see, this is the business of the world, the whole world. The whole world is running after only thing, that is sex. And that's how we all are contaminated and get entangled with this Maya. And Prabhupada says, even in couple of lectures you can hear Prabhupada saying this particular sentence. We rascals, and we are with the rascals and the shameless. We never get disgusted with this business. We rascals and shameless never get disgusted with this business. And Prabhupada says, if you want to progress in the spiritual path, take care of this, control it, then only you can move. While giving lecture particularly to the brahmacharis and sannyasis, Prabhupada highlighted things. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunancha. And how these 2 parts, particularly the bhaya and maithuna, are extremely important for this brahmachari and the sannyasa, those who are inspiring to be brahmachari and sannyasa. How it is the very first thing that we need to control is the control of your afraid. You must get rid of this afraid and the indulgence with the sex. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also taught the same thing. And even you're so restrictive that how you all know how he derided one of his disciple, because he was describing this feat of this who was offering that madhukari. He was doing the madhukari, that is alm, and while coming back he was describing about the beauty of the foot, the feet of the lady was offering. After hearing this, what happened? Immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu derided him. It is intolerable, particularly for the aspiring devotees. And that's why Prabhupada made a provision. What the provision? No illicit sex. And Prabhupada highly condemned disgusting business. So this is very important points for all of us. And that's why even in the Sikhyastakam also we get the first thing. There is one thing, what happened? That is Bacho Vegam, Manasha, Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udar Upasta Vegam. The urge of the genitals is very, very important, and how to control it. Whereas we all are given human body, all the body will be given. This is given to all the animal. Whoever having this body will be given this 9 gates. But it is the human being who has got the capacity to control the urge of this. And in this particular verse, in 5.13, particularly Srila Prabhupada describe it, when the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all action, he resides happily in the city of 9 gates. This is very, very important point. He resides happily in the city of 9 gates, neither working nor causing work to be done. So this is what the elevated position of a soul. You be in this body, but use this body as your supporter, is the instrument to go back to the Godhead. And not only that, in being in this body also, you enjoy the bliss of being associated with the Lord. That is the very important points. Staying in this Navadwara Pure Dehi, Naiva Kurban Karayam. Neither being indulged in activity, nor being thinking that I am the doer. But what is the state of that? What is the sublime, beautiful, blissful state of that? Unless we got control and understand, I'm associated with Krishna and I got all the potential to enjoy each and every fraction of life blissfully, not in melancholy, blissfully. And that's how the ultimate discussion led to one verse, particular verse. When in Jagannath Puri, Rai Ramanand came back from Raj Muindri, leaving aside all his position as a governor of the state. And now he taken shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very, you see, this beauty of the Lord. Krishna given all this credit to Arjuna. Krishna given all the credit to Bhishma Pitamaha. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also given the credit to Raya Ramanand. And if you go to Jagannath Puri, there is a village from Raya Ramanand, and I went there in that particular village, and the local people say, this is not Raya Ramanand village, they say Guru Raya Ramanand village. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given the elevated ladder and considered him as a guru because he kept on inquiring about the soul. That is a different thing. But while discussing, if you listen to that particular discussion, and if you understand the particular discussion between Raya Ramanand and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the discussion also given very beautifully by Srila Prabhupada in Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. There are 4 teachings coming. Discussion with Rupa Goswami, discussion with Sanatan Goswami, discussion with Sarvabhaumya Bhattacharya, and discussion with Raya Ramananda. And Raya Ramanand quoted a verse towards the end of the discussion. Atmaravasya munayo nirganta upaurukrame kurbanti ahetu ki bhakti jathochita gunohari. Thus the elevated devotees, their Atmaram, the state of the Atmaram. They've never been dependent on any other external factor of life. Being situated in the same body, enjoying the day-to-day activities, but they enjoy more on the blissful stays because with the Krishna. Because Krishna provides each and every facilities to get a blissful state with their Atma. Kurvanti ahetuki bhakti. And what is the business of them? The only business is to do undiluted, unalloyed devotional service. Jatho chita gunohari. What is required? Anukulena sankalpa pratikulena varjitam rakhyasiti vishwasa. Right? With that state, what they do? They engage themselves, their soul particularly, to elevate themselves in association with the Paramatma, that is the representation of the Lord Krishna. And they releases each and every pastime of the Lord. And what in turns they given? Jatho chita gunohari. So this is the position Prabhupada urged all of us to elevate ourselves. And Lord Krishna also says in the same thing, Hrudeha adyam sulabham sudurlabham plabam sukalpam gurukarnadharam. This is the boat. This is the most sublime boat given to you. In the form of what? In the form of human body. Nrudeha, nrideha adyam sulabham sudurlabham. Sulabham, the most profitable. Sudurlabham is not given in the very easily. It is very rarest. There are 84 lakhs of species and you are given a human being. Sudurlabham. but it is very sublime and the most favorable. It's like a favorable ship or boat to cross the material ocean. But how? Because we are ignorant, we don't know, we're always indulged in the sense gratification. We don't know what is the reporting structure of the life. We don't know how to lead life, what is knowledge and what is ignorance, we even don't know. And Krishna says, in order to get this, the smart, in order to know that, you need to follow a person who knows this. Tasmat Guru Prapaddeta Jigyasu Srimuttama. You need to follow the rule, follow the principle, follow the instruction of the Guru, and who has already walked the path. And what he will do, he will give you understanding, he'll give you the direction, he'll give you the knowledge, the required tattva, logic, what is for you, what is beneficial for you. And with that, what he will do, he will cross the material ocean. He'll able to cross this material ocean, but under the guidance, by making the Guru as your captain of your life. Nrideha adyam sulavam sudurlavam plavam sukalpam guru karnadharam. Make your Guru as your captain, right? And again, he is not stopping. Maya anukulena nivishyate editam. And you need to follow the principle of what I have given to you, Srimad Bhagavatam. And these are the favorable winds for this sailing of your ship. This, all the shastras will be are given as a favorable wind to sail through your ship. What beautiful verse that it is. Make your Guru as your captain. Consider your boat as the most favorable ship for yourself. Consider your Guru as your captain. Now your favorable wind is your shastras. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, right? Upanishad, and particularly for us, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Amalam Puranam, right? So these are all favorable conditions for us. And with this, what happened? We need to uplift yourself and go back to me, come back to me, go back to Godhead. And with this also, if you're not doing, what happens? Then you are the killer for yourself. Atmaha, you are doing suicide. And also he has defined the suicide beautifully. Suicide is not just killing your body, but Krishna says suicide is not that. Suicide is killing your Atma. Not uplifting your Atma is a suicide. Na puman, na bhaved. Even if with all this, you got the Guru, you got the human body, you got all the shastras, and still you indulge in sex. What you are doing? You are killing your Atma. And that is the position that Lord Krishna says, and all of us to do that. And Prabhupada also, time and again, warned us not to get indulged in bad company. Kamayesa krudhayesa rajoguna samudbhava. The moment we are associated with this guna, in the previous very first verse, Narad Muni says, because of the association of this particular prakriti, we get that the characteristics are getting reflected in our life, and that been taken over in the chitta, and that get what it does. We are getting association. That characteristic of that guna is covering our consciousness, chitta. And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to get rid of this. And because of the covering of that particular gunas, we're unable to comprehend, unable to understand, unable to even think about Krishna. Ata Sri Krishna namadi na bhaved gahyam indriya. It's very difficult for us to comprehend. And what we do? Kama yesa krudha. We indulge with all kind of desires, and particularly desire for the sex. Most favorable, the most pleasure But in Kali Yuga is the sex. And that's how most of us, most of the people here are doing this. The whole world, Prabhupada said, is run by the only one business, that is sex business. And this is a very grave, very, very dangerous situation. The first thing Prabhupada asks us to control the urges of the genital. And even Rupa Goswami. Vacho Begam, Manashakrodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udara Udasta Begam, Etan Beganjo Vishayet Dhiro. This is what we need to control the urge of this. Otherwise, any moment we can be grabbed by the desire. And that is a very dangerous situation. So what is the solution for us? What is the solution? How to control the urges? Is there any solution that we will not be getting away from this? How to get rid of this? Can you get rid of this by suppression? No. The more you suppress, the more you will revolt. But the only solution is the prescription of the Shastras, prescription of Srila Prabhupada, prescription of Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the prescription? The only prescription is to Rishikena Rishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. And Lord Krishna very beautifully given the solution for this. What is that? Vishaya binivartante naraharasya dehina rasho varyam rasho pasya parabuddhi. So this is the solution. Where in all we consider this the most pleasurable part of the life. But Krishna says, when we get this higher test in life, we are giving them the higher test of the life, higher test. Gradually, they'll get renunciated from the lower form of the test, and they will situated in the higher form of the test. So what is the higher form of the test? Sivan mukhehi zivade. When you're giving the higher test in the form of prasadam and the form of the chanting the name of the Lord, that become the essence of giving the test of the higher, the transcendental test. Rasopashyam, the higher form of rasa. We all know Krishna is the Rasashreya, Rasadhipati, Rasaraj is the king of all the rasas. And if we are connected with the king of the rasas, the transcendental mallow, the rasas will be coming and getting tested by our senses. Vishaya binivartante naraharasya dehina. Give the test. Introduce the test. And once you introduce the test to yourself, what will happen? You're getting bimukti, or that is, gradually you'll get to see that there is a higher test in life. And you will be establishing yourself and long for that particular test. Sivan mukhe zivade swalpameva spuratida. And gradually it will pop up from your heart, from the corner of heart. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrute Kimba Pare Ishvara Sadyo Hrudayor Avaruddhayate Krutubhi Susrubhi Tatkyanat. And the moment you are giving the test in the form of listening, that immediately resides in your heart. Sadyo Hrudayor Avaruddhayate. And Krishna will be coming inside deep in your heart and it get cased. The test will get cased. The rush will be getting cased. And you'll start, the Krishna Katha will start. You'll start developing the taste of Krishna Katha gradually. Sadyo Hrudayor Avaruddhayate. But for whom? Those who have done something. They have taken the prasadam and recited the name of the Lord. They have done something. Saddha Rati Bhaktir Anukramishati. When you test this particular thing, gradually the Shraddha, the inquisitiveness, Rati, that means association or means the interest for that, the attachment, Shraddha is inquisitiveness, Rati is the attachment, and finally Bhakti will be gradually come off in the heart. Shraddha Bhakti Rati Anukramishyati. So this is the first principle the Srimad Bhagavatam has given to us. But the one thing, in order to do that, elevate that, we need to start with the Sivan Mukhehi Zivade by chanting the name of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Mahamantra. Taking this prasadam, prasade sharva dukkhanam hanirasti upajayate, prasanna cheta suasu para buddhi avatistate. Mai prasadat tarishyasi. Tarishyasi, you can get rid of all these material problems, all these problems of your life. By what? By the blessings. Mai prasadat. Mai prasadat tarishyasi. You can sail through all the problems with what? Only with my prasadam. And that's why Prabhupada is so humbly, at the very older age, day in and out, put lots and lots of efforts in writing all the scriptures, translating in the simplified way, so that we understand this nectar of this and get the tester, the higher form of the test. Rasho Vashya. That test, once we get it, then only we can think that this is really meant for me. And we can utilize that particular things of this particular life as an instrument, this body as an instrument for ourselves to uplift ourselves. Otherwise, Atmaha, na taret sapuman Atmaha. And apart from giving all these things, all the facilities, everything after giving all these facilities, and still we're not seriously thinking what will happen, we are doing only suicidal. And this kind of verses comes in the form of an alarm to us. There is a wonderful discussion between Angira Rishi and Narad Muni. And he'll also discussion Chitraketu. That is also alarm. Chitraketu is the previous form of the Baritrasur. He was describing about Parikshit Maharaj asked this question: how come a demonic character like Baritrasur gets such an elevated position? Who can recite this particular verse, particularly what? Aham Harer Tab Padayek Mula Dasanu Dash Bhavitasme Bhuya Manush Maret Asupate Gunaste Bihita Bhakkarma Karotu Kaya. Please give me this benediction so that I engage in my next birth to the service of the devotees of the Lord. And I'll engage in the service of the devotees who has given their life in the form of Manasa, Bacha, Karmana. I want to serve them. How come demonic characters like Vritrasur get this such kind of elevated thoughts and consciousness at the 11th moment? And while describing all this, Parikshit Maharaj's question, Sukhdev Goswami described about all the beautiful discussion between the Chitraketu's past life and how Chitraketu's was Morasis, leading a life with Morasis, not getting the son, married to crores of wife, and finally got his child, and the child was poisoned by the envious ladies, and he was killed. And Narad Muni and Angira this come to Chitraketu and ask, why you are worried? And Narad Muni, given this benediction of the dead child, and brought the soul back to this body. And now given this opportunity to Chitraketu, Chitraketu asks him, who is he? When the boy get up, immediately he denied, he is not my father. Please read this verse, this wonderful verse. There is 6.16.6. Please read it. 6.16.6. 5 and 6. Please, two verses. You must read it. Immediately he get off and says, who is this person? I don't know him. Just few minutes back he passed away. But he says, I don't know. Pratijanme says, Mata Pita Pai, Krishna Guru na Pai. Every life we are given body, every body will be given the mother and father. Parents will be given, even to the aunt, even to the leopard, even to the crocodile, even to the bird, even to whoever by living entities will be given a parents. But Krishna and Guru will not be given in easily. So long for that. Prabhupada has given this particular verse while describing about the 6.16.6. And this boy got up. I don't know who are you. I have hundreds and thousands of parents, but my only parents is Krishna. Mata aham asya jagato, pita aham asya jagato, mata dhata pitama. He is the only father I have. I know only Krishna is my father, supreme father. And all these are temporaries. So I don't know you when you are my father. So these are all alarms are set to us. And unless we read Srimad Bhagavatam and get those alarms indication that we must understand this, the criticality of the life, we can't even think about uplifting ourselves. Uddharet atmanam na atmanam avashadayet atmanohi atmanor bandhu atmanor ripuratman. And unless we stay alert, unless we develop our consciousness, our mind is always play the role of an enemy, what we're doing for last millions and millions of births. Because it will deride you, it will force you to indulge in sex, indulge in sense gratification, indulge in various kind of desires and all activities, which is unnecessary, unwanted. Kaitava dharma, and we indulge in the Kaitava dharma. And with a very serious note, Prabhupada says, with the rascal and shameless people, we never disgusted with this business. We never get disgusted with this business. So this is what Prabhupada wants us to be. And that's why he put a lot of all his efforts in writing books, distributing books, moving places to places, crying every night crying, just because of this, so that we get elevated. We understand the consciousness level, so that we uplift ourselves and understand the danger of being indulged in sex, danger of being indulged in sense gratification, and the importance of elevating ourselves in the conscious level. So this is what Narad Muni describing Prachin Bahi about the 9 gates. And even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, while reading this 5.13, Prabhupada says beautifully, therefore, a Krishna conscious person is free from both the outer and the inner activities of the material world, just by utilizing the body as an instrument for the higher elevation to lead to the higher platform of life. So keep this as a vehicle, use this as an instrument, and understand the importance of the higher purpose of life. Indriyani parani aho, indriyabhyo param mana, manastastu para buddhi, buddhistastu paratushaha. Just utilize this. Your gross body, your senses are superior to your gross bodies. Your mind is superior to your 5 senses. But superior to your mind is your intelligence. But all these will be working for whom? Saha, for you. So utilize the entire body, the instrument, for the favorable condition, for the favor of your Atma. Then only you'll be elevating yourself and cross the material ocean, and you'll be coming back to me. Hrudeha adyam sulabham sudurlabham plabam sukalpam guru karna dharam maya anukulena nivishyate iditam. Natare sapuman satmaha. Even after getting all this stuff, you still indulge in sense gratification, still indulge in material manual activities, lower form of life, lower form of consciousness, moghasha, mogha karmana, mogha jnanam vichetasha, rakhyasi masurim chaiva, prakriti mohinam srita. Still you are there, then you are doing suicide. You are the cause of your suicide. So come up. This is what Prabhupada says, and this is what we learn from this Astra. This is what we learn from this Bhagavatam. All these saints, all our acharyas, and they want also to be uplift ourselves. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Hare Krishna. If you have anybody who would like to add something or anything in this beautiful alarm, so please, you're welcome. And if you have any question, please, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for the wonderfully elaborating the core point, Maithuna Agara, as Prabhupada repeatedly says, and also helping us, understand how scriptures send us the alarm notifications at various points. We need to act just like how we know taking care of the notifications on our mobile. We should take care of these notifications. Devotees can unmute themselves to share any. Sorry, if they have any questions, please ask.
Thank you very much, Saraswati Mataji. Thank you. So, Prabhu, if you don't have any question or any notes,
Yes, maybe we can conclude. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, we'll conclude with Ashna Pranams. Mancha Kalpatirubhyas.
नाम पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय। गुरु गौरांग की जय। जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to assembled devotee, all glories to assembled devotee, all glories to assembled devotee. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your time.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, everyone.